You are listening to SportsOvertime.com. Your blood, our sweat, your tears. No, that's not it. You are listening to SportsOvertime.com, where the clock doesn't matter.
You're listening to Off the Deep End, where we discuss conspiracies, the people who love them, aliens, and a little spirituality. I'm your host, Emmy, and welcome to our show. And welcome to Off the Deep End. Once again, this is your host, Emmy. It's a beautiful day, or going on evening here in Miami. Nice and sunny, not too hot or humid, so that's nice. It's nice to go into the fall with a nice breeze. All right, tonight we have Miss Bianca Macias from California. She is an intuitive, a healer, a channeler. I don't know, the last conversation she was a lot more. I don't remember all of the things that she's so talented as, but I'm glad she's here so she can fill us in. Bianca, welcome to our show.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Yeah, I'm happy to have you here. I want to thank you for once again for being on our show last time, because it was last minute, and I want to tell you that from what I've seen, you got a lot of listens, and I definitely wanted to put some time apart to give you the much needed attention you deserve, because I got a lot of people who are very interested in what you had to say.
Wow, that's that makes me feel good. I got from feedback on you as people were interested in the ship a lot, and how that goes in, what to do that, or what is like what goes on in mediumship. What's the true name of it? Yeah, but that's great. That's amazing.
Yeah, definitely. And another interesting thing that people were impressed by is like your information about creating your reality, manipulating your reality. A lot of people I know were very impressed about this grasp that you have about basically mastering the creator beings that we are, so yeah, it was really, really great.
That's a good topic too, to manifest your reality, the reality that you prefer, and not so much the reality that you don't prefer. But then again, this is a all-inclusion reality. This is all-inclusion universe. No matter what we say yes or no to, we get both.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I like that. So can you expand on that a little bit for our listeners?
Yes. Okay, when I say that we get both, no matter what we say no to, no matter how bad we go against it, fight against it, we will end up seeing it in our reality in some way, shape, or form. Because in this universe, we cannot not experience everything. We will experience both sides of polarity. We live in, we're coming out of polarity, but for most of us, we're still in polarity. We'll get both sides of the coin, the negative and the positive, whatever we deem negative or positive. In Source's eyes, neither is negative or positive. It just is, it just exists, and it's just an experience. But as for humans, we have this definition on it, and it's negative or positive or something else. And we will experience both sides of that. We'll experience both sides of everything that we experience in this lifetime, no matter what it is. And we can choose to what degree or like intensely we do experience it. That's where our focus comes in. That's where our attention to ourselves comes in. How much we're thinking on something, how much we're focusing on something, how much attention, like how much energy we're putting towards something, how much thought we're putting towards something. Because our thoughts are energy, and when we put energy towards something, it builds up, and it starts moving more, starts faster. It's like electricity. Like we can't see it, we can't feel it, but it happens. And when we focus on something that's negative or something that we don't want, something that we don't prefer, and all the time we're talking about it, we're just griping about it, we're just, gossiping and crying about it, it's going to stay in our reality, solid. And to kind of, break that away or kind of ease that off is just by not focusing on it so much and focusing on what we do want, focusing on the positive, what we do prefer, but not hating what we don't want, but not being disgusted by it. We just love it, allow it to exist, and if it comes our way, we experience it fully and let it pass us. Because if we have fear of it, then it really comes back around again and again and again.
Yeah, that's really great insight. One thing I want to backtrack on is you mentioned that we're coming out of polarity. When you say that, obviously I understand that pretty clearly. But what do you think that? What does that really mean? Is there like a period that we're transitioning from where we're just like lighter on our feet versus before, or less dualistic? Is there a change going on?
Well, there's a lot of changes going on right now. It seems like everyone, well, how I perceive my reality to be is that everyone is going through the worst shit right now. It's just, everyone is just like, it's a negative and positive all piled on top of one another right now. But to me, how I understand the energies is that we're moving toward a more neutral type of space, more neutral type of world. And there'll still be polarity, but it'll be more understood, more allowed, and more being able to exist amongst one another without being so destructive or defensive against one another because of these polarities that are between everything, or between us and everything else. And to me, that's what it means to me. Like we're moving out of polarity into a more neutral position, to where we can observe our realities from a more higher, like from our higher self perspective, and be able to choose from that view and make decisions on our lives without being so affected by the negative or positive, or even having these definitions, if that makes sense.
Well, that makes a lot of sense to me, but I'm just like still impressed, because it's just like when you're describing these things, you just have like this flow that comes out of you. It's just like, it's like, spirit. I'm listening to spirituality like one-on-one. It's just like, these are concepts that a lot of people have a tough time grasping, and you just like, hit everything on the nail,
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I'm pretty impressed, because it's like you practically just like, you're in a flow, you embody this, if that's what you're doing. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, it's crazy. It flows through real easily, and I never thought it was like this. I always had a hard time with interviews, or like even speaking about anything that had to do with me, and it just flows pretty easily. So, and that's another thing about fears, like fear. A lot of people are going through fear right now. I know that for sure. But what we're fearing most likely does not ever really happen. And if it does, it doesn't happen to the degree that we are thinking that it will. Like, if you think of a fear that you have, like, oh, I fear like this is going to happen, or fear this is going to happen, if it's like, okay, like there's this some kind of consequence that you are imagining or thinking up about something that you don't do at home, or for your husband, or for your wife, or for your boss. And usually when that time comes around and the fear is realized, it's not really as bad. Say, for example, when I went on a plane, I was shitting bricks the whole week before, and I was so scared. I was scared of heights. I was panicking. I went on the plane, I was all up in the window, and I enjoyed the entire ride. I had fun. It was completely amazing. So my fear was realized, and it was not even nearly as bad as I was making it to be.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It's kind of like you're releasing that in some aspects. And hey, do you think that, like, when you have those fears, especially when they don't make sense, it has like something to do like with your past life, especially like one that you're like super, super like worried or afraid of, and it's like you just kind of confronting that fear. It's like, you're releasing that, I guess, past life trauma or something. Yeah, I definitely believe that is one of the possibilities is that one possibility is that you're picking up on other people's energies, other people's thoughts, other people's programs, how we are programmed in society to believe certain things. Oh, yeah.
be scared of this, be scared of that, be scared of this. It could just be from this lifetime. And yeah, it also can be from past lives too, because say maybe I fell out of a plane or something, or a plane blew up, and I don't know, past life, or maybe I was with the Wright brothers or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
That could have stayed in my soul, my DNA, which is part of our souls are DNA. Our DNA is our soul. I can't word that right, but something that has to come up again, and something I have to get through again in this lifetime in a different way, but still of the same sort of scenario.
Okay, that's interesting. And now we're talking about past lives. So, what past lives have you discovered in your spiritual path that were significantly impacting your life significantly?
Well, there's a few actually, and they've all, a lot of my past lives, actually, many of my past lives that I picked up on, I don't know all the details of every single one of them, but from a little bit from each one that I have picked up on, it has been a part of my life now in a way. It's like when I had a past life as an Indian, American Indian, I brought with me some of those morals, some of what I believed in back then to now, and some of the dances that I doing then I brought to now. And back in Atlantis, when I was there as a mermaid, as a warrior, princess, mermaid, fighting whoever we were against, I'm not going to name anybody, but
the Martians.
It came with me to now, and it came with me to now, and it, like, I'll get these visuals of mermaids and in the water and bottom of Atlantis, like the crystals and everything, and just like at war and thing, and I thought these were just dreams as a kid. I thought these were just nightmares. No, it turns out to be my past lives. So that's a way that affected me. And but from everything, from all of my past lives, what I brought with me is all the wisdom. This is what we bring with us to every now, is the wisdom that we gain from every second before this one and to the past is the wisdom. And the knowledge is just knowledge, but the wisdom is what we gather and what we bring with us to every life, every new reincarnation, wherever we go. And
especially since like we're like the totality of all of our previous lives.
Yes, exactly. Anyway, and what the whole bringing wisdom to the now is, we never forget our wisdom. Our knowledge, it's knowledge. We know it, and it's written down in textbooks. It's this and that. It's something that we still can experience in a way, and something that we can still make a maybe theorize on. As for wisdom that is set in your soul, that comes with you no matter what, you will never forget it. And even though we do come into this world with forgetfulness and with amnesia, we do carry that wisdom with us throughout all of our lives, throughout all of our soul's growth, and it is never forgotten.
Yeah, we just have to find a way of like remembering that consciously. And I hope that now that there's these changes or these shifts, that a lot of us humans are going to start remembering, our past lives. That would be interesting.
Yeah, a lot of us are crossing timelines, old timelines or new timelines, current timelines, parallel timelines. There's all kinds of timelines crisscrossing every which way for every single one of us all the time at any given moment. And with the actions that we make every day, with the decisions that we make in every moment, that decides which timeline we get onto and experience. And some of us are crossing timelines where we are kind of experiencing, but like having visuals or having some kind of connection to our past lives, and like seeing it, feeling it, bringing the emotions back, bringing back the pain, or bringing back the happiness, or bringing back something we totally don't understand. Maybe even a new language popped up all of a sudden, or an eye color. It's just how we're integrating our own energies, our own timelines, our own past, our own futures, our own nows into what we are in this moment. And everyone's going through it in some sort of way, even those who are not so-called awake. To me, I believe everyone's awake to some degree. And even though they don't talk about or know what we're talking about, they know about it subconsciously. To me, everyone is awake in some way. But Yeah, that's
they know that there's something at least like different.
Yeah.
That there's like some change in energy or something like that. That's something's amidst.
Yes, they will be experiencing it somehow in their life with chaos or happiness, or all of a sudden have abundance. And yeah, everyone goes through it, even if they aren't fully aware of it. Everyone's awake in their own ways.
How can a person who is not awake or have never been aware of timelines know that they are crossing and jumping timelines? I imagine that, I mean, we all make decisions, and based upon those decisions, we're going to follow a certain path just based upon like logic or, you know, cause and effect. But if there's like more if there's an easier way for somebody to, I guess, know that they are like jumping a specific timeline, how would a person figure that out?
One way that I have gathered from my experience is I've noticed I've been switching timelines when I am going through a busy day or a busy week and things are just haywire, or even sometimes really calm, but mostly when it's haywire and I'm just busy everywhere, mind's everywhere, and I lose my keys or I lose something that's important. And I knew I had just said it right there 2 seconds before. I had just turned around and turned back around. It's gone. That's a timeline switch. It is your higher self telling you to slow down, relax, and take a breather. And after that happened, I would turn back around, turn around again, and ta-da, there it was. That's a way that I have experienced jumping timelines, and it's just that simple. I mean, everything in our reality, everything in the past 5 seconds, everything in your room and my room, or anyone that's listening, it's not the same as it was 5 seconds ago. Even though it looks the same, it's not the same. We are always continually switching timelines. But as for the ones who don't know that we're doing this, like the whole losing the keys as an example, and then finding it after you chill out is a good example, or a good way to notice that or be aware of that. And also, if you experience Mandela effect in some way where something is changed and you could swear that it was another way, like the Bernstein Bears, that book was spelled this way and it's spelled a totally different way, or like the snack, the Cheez-Its, it was spelled one way, it's spelled another way, or
with
just other things like
and now it's an S, is that?
Yeah.
And what does the Mandela effect mean, and what is its purpose? What is it supposed to do?
It's supposed to wake up the non-awake. It's supposed to, well, to me, I believe it's supposed to wake up the ones who aren't awake to all this, who are still asleep and not really paying attention to the changes and don't want to pay attention to it. It's a sign of proof that things are changing, that things will change, and that's it. It's changing, and it wakes up everyone. Everyone needs to wake up at some point, and if they're experiencing a Mandela effect, it's because they chose it in that time to be woken up by that experience.
Yeah, and that'll just even noticing, for example, the changing of the name on a snack box, like the Cheez-Its, that's enough, I think, to get somebody just kind of going down the rabbit hole just to find out what that's all about, and perhaps like they'll find out what the Mandela effect is, and then kind of go in, on their spiritual path.
Exactly. And another way to wake up people, or people wake up, is by listening. And I'm not trying to scare nobody. I don't want to scare anyone. This is not scary at all. It's a beautiful thing to, be aware of more of what is in your reality, if you wish to be, of course. But is that when you're listening to a channeler on YouTube or TV or a medium, or someone that's talking about something new agey, or something that's unheard of, or something that's alien, or about aliens, about angels and whatnot, and it's something that's unknown to you or new, it's like pinging your DNA. It's waking up your DNA. The vibration that is coming to you through the device that you're listening to from that person, if they're talking out of love, I'm pretty sure it can go either way, but if they're talking from love, from their heart, their joy, like a channeler, they express that energy, you're listening to it, it goes to your body, that vibration, and it starts waking up DNA. It starts waking up your cells. It starts waking up parts of your mind that weren't awake before. And sooner or later after that, you'll start seeing that you'll be thinking about these things. You'll be feeling things, or you'll be wondering about spirituality or aliens or angels a lot more than you did before, and this is the sign that you have woken up. This is a sign of that you are starting to become more aware of what the real reality is. And if anyone listening to this broadcast is obviously awake, or else they wouldn't be listening to it. And anyone that listens to anything like this, they're obviously a vibrational match to it and are ready for this sort of thing, and they're open to it in some fashion, even if they try and deny it sometimes. If that makes sense.
Oh yeah, and but another thing interesting. Well, another thing that's interesting is this is like a sports talk show. So if they've come back to listen, you know that they're awake, you know, or if they're like wondering and then just hanging on, like, you know, trying to find out what all this stuff is about. They're definitely at least initiated a spark.
Yeah. Brought new interest. That's what brought me to, like, kept me in this, is the interest, the new things, the new unknown things. And even though sometimes the unknown can be a little bit worrisome because that's so much freedom. There's so much freedom in the unknown. Like, unbelievable. But
yeah, it's so unrestricted. Just something that we're just not used to, or just used to laws and once again restrictions and you know, structure, just programming and the way things are supposed to be versus, you know, what you want them to be.
Yeah. And the whole thing on freedom, like, we're supposed to be the country, what is it, the country of the free? Well, it's gonna be becoming that more and more, very much. I mean, my reality, I feel there's a lot of freedom, and I honestly, I'm a little bit fearful of all the freedom because I'm used to being controlled and in a structured, you know, society and whatnot, but I'm letting that go. I'm letting go of those bars. I'm letting go of those barriers, those obstacles that have been put on me from society that I've allowed. And it's just, I keep every single barricade or every single wall that I climb over, it's like I reach this new level of freedom and ecstasy and enthusiasm and optimism and just like all kinds of brand new wonderful feelings. And like, there's feelings I can't even describe, there's energies I can't describe, there's so many beautiful things that are more than what we can even define or even speak on. It's the freedom that we have in the unknown is absolutely beautiful. It's expansive. It's so much. I can't even explain it because it's like, it's indescribable. It's undescribable happiness. It's undescribable freedom that we haven't felt before, and I'm excited about that. I'm excited that humanity's headed that way.
Yeah, and even if like there's things that may seem scary that are going on right now. We have like this this concern about these elections, these ISIS problem we have, our economic issues, you know, all of these weird laws that are going into effect that don't necessarily benefit us. You know, there's a lot of stuff that's like just really stressful going on right now. But, you know, at the same time, I'm like very optimistic, you know, probably because I'm at a point where I'm just not going to allow myself to be drugged down by this negativity, you know?
Exactly. Yep. And negativity, and the thing about the universe is that our universe is biased, and it's biased toward love. Love and positivity. So then no matter what, negativity is never, ever, ever gonna win or prevail or be on top. It'll seem like it. It'll try and make itself look like it, like whatever's negative going on in reality, but it's never going to be that way unless you completely choose to focus on that reality and you are just dead set on trying to defend yourself from it, and you're fearful of it and you're barricading yourself at home and you're just totally just swamped by that negativity. Then you will experience that world. But everyone else, like myself, or just at least myself, I'm speaking for myself, I'm not going to experience that. I actually don't experience nothing that has to do with ISIS or the laws or, you know, martial or what used to be. I can't even think of the terms anymore because it's not a part of me. It's not part of my vibration. It's like a lot of the things that I used to worry about a lot, but a lot of those I don't worry about now. Whatever I worry about now, it has to do more with my own inner being, my own heart, my own soul, my own crap that I gotta let go and heal. And like get better on, I guess. Well, not better because everyone's good how they are right now, but like just to heal myself. And everything around me is changing because of that. It's not so negative. It's not so dense. It's not so harsh. There are harsh times, but that I cause it for myself. And I end up fearing my own emotions, so I end up causing more crap for myself. But as for anything else like that, I don't experience nothing like that. The news, I don't even watch the news. Nothing on the news even. The news looks so much different now. It's like, like 2 months ago, I watched like 5 minutes of the news, and I'm like, wow, that's so fake. That is so, what are they talking about? Like,
yeah.
It was trippy. That was really insane. I haven't watched TV for almost a year, and then I watched it for a few minutes. I was like, whoa, that is a major change. Like, I still don't watch TV, but.
Oh, yeah. I was actually watching just YouTube yesterday. I was just kind of like going over. I just went down the rabbit hole, and I just came across one of these conspirator videos, I guess, where they're speculating on whether or not Hillary Clinton has committed suicide, or she has been assassinated, or whatever is going on. Apparently, they're just like, I don't know, everybody just wants to kill her. Everybody wants to kill her. They're just listening to just Donald Trump weighing in on Fox News of just like, and I was like on my computer, just kind of focused on something else, but just the negative energy just coming, from the TV, from all of that, like just negative conversation. I just couldn't handle it, So I was like, just let me shut this off, and just light some incense and some sage and just like get this negativity out of the way. It's not to say that you don't know that it's there, but when you're just focused on that stuff, you're just like inviting that negativity, and it's just like weighing you down. It's not really serving you in any positive way.
Yeah, that's the thing about negativity, and what we define as negative emotions is that these emotions carry weight. These emotions do have weight, and this is what causes a lot of illnesses. I think I stated this before, but the emotions, the energies, the thoughts that you carry, that you hold within yourself that are negative, stressing you out, causing worry, causing grief, causing pain, it all has an actual weight to it. We can't, well, I'm pretty sure someone can, some scientists can weigh this somehow, but myself, someone regular citizen can't do it. But these emotions have weight, and we can tell by how we feel. We can feel like really dragged down, really heavy, really just blah, just like tired and lethargic, and just like, God, I have no energy. And that's when we should look at ourselves like, okay, why am I feeling like this? Like, okay, well, I'm thinking about this, I'm thinking about that, I'm thinking about what happened yesterday at work, I'm thinking about the problems tomorrow, I'm thinking about the problems today, and then this trouble over here, the fight over here, like, and then the news says this, news says that. Like, is there anything positive going on in my reality right now? Like, is there anything nice that I'm focusing on? And a lot of the times, for me, that used to be a no. That everything I was focusing on, I thought I was actually focusing on in a positive way, trying to fix things, trying to help things, trying to change things. I was focusing on the negative and sticking to the negative, trying to fix it and control it, which I can't do. And I had to let all of that go and started focusing on more beautiful things, more things that I enjoy, things that I find pleasure in, and happiness, and like hobbies or whatever. Even just staring at a butterfly is something positive to get that momentum going and get away from the negativity. Not get away from it, but kind of not so much focus on the negativity. And that weight started lifting up off me. Illnesses started going away, pain started going away, and my eyesight even got better. I had a somewhat blurry vision, like I had a gray veil over my eyes is what it felt like. And when I let go of some of this controlling of what I thought I was doing in a good way, which was actually harming me, I let go of a lot of the negativity that I had, and my eyesight even got better. I had just to put some beans out there, I had some problems with my ovaries, and I let go of a lot of pain and a lot of that grief, and that pain went away. It healed. And I'm able to walk better, I'm able to talk better, I have a lot more clarity after releasing a lot of that weight.
Oh yeah, I really like that a lot, and I resonate with that. I guess the example I could give for myself personally, and what a lot of people do, especially let's go to food. All right, so a lot of us are worried about, the conditions our food is being cultivated in, like non-organic, I guess, farms, or what we used to call them before, farms and ranches. It wasn't organic or not organic, because from what we understood, all of our produce was supposedly treated correctly, and then it was brought into our reality that no, this was not the case, and that we are ingesting or purchasing genetically modified fruits and vegetables, and it's like, okay, oh dang, now I have to look for the ranch or the store that sells the produce that has the proper sustainable cultivation, and so I can make sure that what I'm eating is what I'm supposed to eat, that's not going to affect me. And there's like nothing wrong with that, but the thing is, it's gotten to a level that is like gets worrisome. What I noticed was it was worrisome for me, and I think that because you're just so focused on what's wrong, like with, for example, your food, and you're worried about the result, that you're going to get sick because, of your food choices, and you're just worried that there's like just this big thing that you can't control, that is in charge of like your food, and that's poisoning you. So it's just all these thoughts that are coming into your head, and that's really bad, because, and then there's water fluoridation and all of these things. It's really bad because that's because it's your food. It's what you eat to sustain yourself, and you're just like, even if it's true, you're just, the fact that you're constantly worried and thinking about this all the time just like adds to, it adds and compounds that problem, and creates diseases. That's what you got, these people who eat really well, or they're vegan, or they follow a certain lifestyle. They do their best to eat as perfectly as they think they can eat, but they still get sick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. And because they're fearful of the consequences of eating so-called bad food. I had that issue for a little bit, for like a month, and then I was like, okay, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of starving myself, and I was afraid of Monsanto, and my water being fluoridated, and having a bunch just crap in it. Like, I was literally starving myself because I could not get the funds to find food. I would only buy food for my children, and that was it, and what I deemed would be healthy for them. And I was like, okay, I'm dying here. I gotta do something else. And I let go of that fear. It was hard to let it go because I was worried about my kids. My kids came in a lot, like with this whole fear thing about fearing the reality. The snare is that they each individual, all three of them, individuals, create their own realities. Whatever I do in my reality does not have to affect them, even if they are co-creating a reality with me. Their own personal experience and their own soul growth, whatever they're going through, is completely different from mine. Their perspectives, their wisdom that they're gaining, their lessons, everything that they see, even though if I am right there by them 24/7 with them stuck on my butt, whatever, it don't matter. They are still experiencing a completely different reality, and anything I do can either affect them or not affect them. It's up to them to choose that, and no matter how well I try and take care of them or try and feed them, it can still go awry in their reality because of what they believe in. So that whole thing, I just had to let go of that, trying to control that. And after I let go of that, that helped a whole lot too, letting go of the fear of the food and the fluoridation and all that. And now I'm able to eat and I'm able to drink and just chill. And I'm looking at these other people freaking out about their fruits and whatnot in the stores, and I'm just like, okay, well, this one's good, just take that. And they're like, well, that one's just genetically modified. You could tell by the serial number and the numbers on there and this number on there. I'm like, really, you're gonna go through every single piece of fruit like that all the time? Like, I understand completely where you're coming from, but you're gonna buy it anyway.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Sometime. But,
yeah.
it's just a whole lot of stress, and this is what they're trying to do. They're programming us with all this stress, with all this stuff that's weighing us down because they don't want us to be lifted up. They don't want us to be
I'm glad you
up.
mentioned that, because that was going to be like my next point, because I've actually, I come from a background in relation to this where I've been for like many years, like really, really in tune with what Monsanto and all of these other corporations are doing with our food. I mean, the fact that I have more knowledge about that than like other important things in my life is very scary, so I watched these documentaries, and then I did like more research, and I was just like appalled. And of course, in reaction, you just make what you think are like healthy food choices, but like you said, they're programming you, to worry, so you get sick anyways. And like, just looking back, as you were just describing how you were worried about not affording your food because you couldn't afford organic, was just like these documentaries, that these things that they movies that they put out about these companies, like on Netflix, that are easily accessible. Of course they're out there. They're out there for a reason. They're benefiting from it. Like, obviously, I think that Netflix or whoever would have been sued if, like, Monsanto was like super worried about the information that they were putting out.
Yeah, I thought that same thing too when I was watching those documentaries.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly. They're not worried about it at all. They want it to get out there so that they can worry more people.
Oh, yeah, and I watched them all. I watched, like, all of the, whatever, the one on milk and beef, and
vegetables, fruits.
Yeah, vegetables, fruits, and then also changing your food lifestyle. I mean, it's good to eat healthy. I'm not saying, they're conditioning us to eat healthy, because, it's good to make healthy food choices, but at the same time, you have a lot of movies that are introducing ideas of, like their idea of how, you should eat better for your health, and they're doing it in a way of, a lot of them, in a kind of like a scary kind of way, like, based upon this being effed up, you should eat this way because it's better. So, you're kind of like, forced to look at, like, how you're eating, how your whatever your diet is, and then you're making drastic changes, and that's not always beneficial to unless, like, you're eating like 100 hamburgers a day. But if you didn't have a problem eating 100 hamburgers and you were just perfectly fine, perhaps it's not a good idea to go directly to vegetarianism or veganism overnight, Yeah,
true. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with the whole fear of having a fear of Monsanto or whatever, because that's completely legit. I mean, people who experience that, it's completely valid.
Oh, yeah.
That the whole... me laughing about it is not to joke about it, or not. It's not a joking matter to a lot of people, but to me, I'm just laughing at myself and how ridiculously worried I was about it. But for others, it's very valid, and I completely understand that. I was there, and it's horrifying. It's completely worrisome subject. And I mean, nobody should feel left out or feel like, oh, well, my beliefs are bad because they believe this or this and that. No. Mm-mm. Believe what you will, and believe whatever makes you feel comfortable in the moment, even if it is a fearful thought or a fearful belief. If you're comfortable feeling that way, then by all means, go right ahead. Things will ease up for you at some point. Things will get better. Things will ease up off your back sooner or later. And no matter whatever we go through, positive, negative, it's always going to be for our benefit. And even if you don't feel like that in the moment, it's always beneficial for us. So anybody with any negative beliefs listening to any of these, podcasts about, this belief is bad, that belief, or this belief didn't serve me, but it might serve someone else. It's different for everybody else. It's different for every single person. Whatever is not beneficial to me can be completely the other way around for someone else. And it's just, everyone should, what I would suggest to everyone is just be more focused on what is good for you and you only. Don't worry about what's going on in the outside world or your neighbor, your cousin, your aunt, your uncle, even if they live with you. You know, worry about yourself and what's, you know, feel good to you and what makes you comfortable, even if it is a fearful thought, even if it is a belief that no one else believes in. If it makes you feel comfortable and you're happy and you're at peace, hey, go right ahead, please.
Yeah, that's what matters. And all of this conversation reminded me of a video I watched a long time ago about Abraham Hicks. And there was someone asking Abraham Hicks, you know, about why she was gaining weight even though she was eating perfectly, and like something like her husband eats like horribly all the time, but she eats perfectly, but she's still gaining weight. And Abraham Hicks explained that I guess you could eat, you know, you could eat McDonald's every day and still be thin. You know, like the difference is how you're feeling when you're eating the food you're eating. You know, are you worried? Or are you happy? You know, or do you feel like unnatural, or do you feel unnatural? Do you feel stressed or not stressed? Like, are you worried when you're eating your food? You know, because you're kind of like poisoning, in a sense, kind of like poisoning your food, kind of like reducing the nutritional value by having those just like stressful thoughts, as opposed to if you're eating something of positive nutritional value and you're not having the stress around the food, you know.
Yeah, exactly. We actually poison our own foods and our own drinks with our own poisonous thoughts and our toxic thoughts, and that's very valid. Yeah, that's very true. I mean, I used to eat McDonald's and drink soda all the time, and I started gaining weight for some reason. But what I didn't figure out and know at that time was that I was thinking negatively about it while I was eating it. I was like, man, this is gonna make me fat, or this, they say this, they say that, my teeth are gonna rot, you know, something.
Yeah.
Like just gain weight, and I did. But after I let that go too, and I kept eating McDonald's and whatever, and made my own diet up, which was completely out of all unhealthy things, and I lost weight. I didn't gain weight anymore. I was eating Twinkies, I was eating hamburgers, I drank soda, and this was a while back, and I don't do that no more. But like, I would eat a variety of things and just be joyful with it, and just I took a chance at it. And whatever I felt like eating in that moment, I would eat it, and I don't care what anybody said. I don't care if it was dinner time and I wanted cake, or if I was midnight and I wanted ice cream, you know, whatever, or candy bar. I mean, I would just eat it, and my body got more relaxed. My body got more, you know, healthy because of it. I was giving my body what it wanted, even if it wanted something that everyone else said was not good for me. It worked.
Yeah, exactly.
It's into your body. Yeah.
And I want to add on that too, because I think it was just like a couple of months ago that like I decided to like start blessing my food. So so every time I ate, you know, I just blessed my food, and, you know, just asked God to, you know, make sure that it served, you know, my highest good, that it nourished my body and soul, and just, you know, thanked Him for it, you know. And since then, I haven't had any problems with weight gains, any digestive upsets, or anything around the food that I eat. And I even took it a little further than that. I started eating more pizza. I started eating like cookies every day, you know, just like pasta, these things that they did not really affect me in the positive way before, but now I don't have problems with it anymore. I have not gained any weight from eating pizza, burgers, you know, freaking milkshake, cookies, you know, for the last couple of months. And you're talking to somebody who's generally a healthy person, you know. So it's pretty amazing how that happened. And another thing that I saw on, I think I was on the internet or whatever, I think one of these channelers brought it in that whatever you eat, like hold it in the highest light, you know, hold it in the highest light, you know, love it, and just like trust that it's going to do something positive for you, regardless of whether it's known to be like bad, because, you know, in the end, right, it's like the intention you put into it, and then you could transmute that into a positive, just like you can transmute something positive into the negative, you know, since it's like all energy or something like that.
Yeah. Exactly. It's your thoughts. It's our thoughts that manifest our reality, and our vibration that manifest our vibration is our reality. Our reality is our vibration. So if our vibration stinks of fear, it's going to be a fearful reality. Or if it stinks of I'm going to get fat of this and that and this and that, it's going to happen. And our thoughts feed our food, pretty much, in a way.
Yeah. Everything is energy.
Oh, that made sense.
Yeah, that made a lot of sense.
It's a, yeah. It's like channeling too. We can channel a negative. So someone that's said to be absolutely negative, negative being. We have the choice to either translate that as negative or translate into a positive vibration, because we are the receiver and we are able to choose. Okay, we can use our hearts and our mind to choose what do we want to continue their vibration, or we can want to make it into a positive. They might not like the fact that we're going to change it to positive, but we get to choose that. If they're willing to co-create with us and want to get through us, okay, fine. Then I get to choose how this message comes through me. Positive. You're negative as hell, but I'm going to say positive things based on your energy. I can translate it in any way that I wish. And so with anyone channeling negative entities or having trouble with negative entities, please realize that you do have the power to translate their energies into a positive light and focus on it in a positive way, even if it feels negative and ugly. They're going to make you feel like it's impossible, but it's not.
Oh yeah, because nothing that will happen that you don't allow when you can just invite the positive energies, right? And then you just have to follow suit, and otherwise you could just say see you later, buddy.
Yep, exactly. Just cut it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Have you had any trouble when with channeling negative beings? I mean, obviously you had to figure out this knowledge somehow. So how was that experience?
Yeah, actually, yeah.
When you karate chop that negative being and put them on a leash.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
and call them your bee.
Yeah, it's I've had experiences with the negative entities, them controlling, not possessing me, because I had control the whole entire time. Not okay. At that moment, I didn't feel that way, but I did allow negative entities come through me so that I can distinguish their vibration from everything else. So I could learn it. And don't do this at home if you don't know how to do it, or if you're not, if there's something there that you're not feeling good about, don't do it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, the negatives, I've channeled a few, most of them not. Yeah, I don't think I've recorded any of them. It usually just happens spontaneously at home, just me, myself, and that's it. Mm-hmm. But I learned that I can either focus. It's like being in a bad nightmare. Being in a nightmare and you're stuck in it and you have no way to get out, like those paralyzed dreams.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's lucid dreaming. To me, that experience turned out to be lucid dreaming, and I had to realize that fact that when I got paralyzed in a dream like that, I was lucid, and that I had control over that, every single time, but only realized it until recently that I am able to do that. So the negative and the horror that is going on, in my nightmare, I can change that and change it little by little by little. I would change this ugly face to a butterfly and change this to a flower, and just little by little focus on different parts of my nightmare and just change it. Same thing with channeling. I would focus on the energy coming through. The words that wanted to come through would be like hate and filth and disgust. I would change that into love and light and joy, and over time it got easier, and yeah, and it worked.
That's interesting. I never know when I'm lucid dreaming. I have very vivid dreams, and I do feel like it's real life, but how do you get to the point when you're dreaming where you can consciously manipulate situations or control the dream?
Well, with me, one example, okay, I don't know where I was in my dream, but I don't know how to actually get there consciously. It just happened when I woke up in my dream and I realized I was in bed, but I was in a different room, and I was like, oh crap, I'm in another nightmare. But then I heard my thought. I paid attention to the fact that I heard my own thought, and that I felt my bed and I felt the surroundings around me. I had to pay attention to that very, very faint detail of my dream. It's a very faint silver lining in your dream that is telling you, hey, this is reality now. You can manipulate this. You can change this. And I barely got a glimpse of that little lining, of that glimpse of that little feeling. And I was like, wait, I feel that. Or this, I see that. I can do this. I hear myself. I can feel myself on the bed. And it started growing more and more and more. And then I kept having that same nightmare over and over again. And I got more control over it. And I was able to change things and change rooms and feel my feet on the floor. And it just happened by chance that not by chance, but I was able to feel that tiny little vibration in my dream that felt so real, and I focused on that, and everything else became more solid.
That's amazing. And so do you think that was like also kind of like a lesson that you had to achieve? Like obviously there was like a lesson and you did learn something, and then you picked up a skill, but do you think that there was like something at the soul level that just like caused you to like just kind of like master that situation in your dream, or those situations in your dream?
Well, what brought me to that? Okay, what now I got it. What brought me to that was the fact that I was very curious and very wanting to know. I was hungry for that experience. I was hungry for that knowledge, that wisdom, that wanting to know how this happens and how to do that. And soon enough after that, it came to me, and that is my soul wanting to experience this, because I needed that, of course. So whenever you're wondering about something or wondering about this, no matter what it is, it's going to come to you in some way, shape, or form, and you'll experience it. And your desires, whatever you desire in any way, negative or positive, it'll come to you and you'll be able to experience it. I wanted to experience lucid dreaming and how to control it, and I was just curious about it, researching it and whatnot, and I finally got the experience one night, and ta-da, it happened. And that's my soul. I'm guessing that's my soul attracting what it needed to learn to itself, I guess. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how it goes. We attract what we need to go learn from.
One thing that I wanted to ask you about was the website that one of Harris's many websites that he works on. He said that you helped collaborate with him on that. I mean, I don't know a whole lot about what you do, Bianca, but you have a lot of things that you're doing. There's a lot of wheels turning, and I'm thinking that we have like a lot more that we're going to see about you, but in the meantime, it's like you're kind of like helping others like come up as well, until like just seems like until you come online.
Yeah, you're correct. I've got a lot coming up.
The jig is up.
Yeah. You caught me. Damn it.
Talk to us.
I've got a whole lot coming up. I've got I've got a few different websites that are in progress, but I'm working on each of them and still dealing with my family and whatnot, so it's kind of a slow progress, but I'm getting there. And there's this shirt designing, like my own clothes design, like how Ivan Teller has his shop. Yeah. I have something like that I'm going to be launching. I have campaigns that I'll be launching. A website just a bit basically on me and what I do, and services I'm going to offer. And actually that is something that this week I was going to launch, so be looking forward to that.
All right,
that's definitely something this week I'm going to be launching. And yeah, so you picked up on that pretty well. Picked up on that pretty accurately.
Yeah, it's my intuition at work.
Yes, exactly. So that's cool. Thank you for mentioning that, because I have forgotten about that right now.
Yeah, can we talk about like the services that you're going to be offering and all of the details?
Yeah, I want to. Well, there's a bunch of different things. Of course, channeling and talking to people's guides, angels, aliens, connecting them to their star families, connecting them to their past loved ones. Doing mediumship is going to be a big one, because a lot of souls are being released right now from Earth or from that realm where they are stuck between the two worlds where they need to cross over. And that's where I'm mainly focusing on at this moment, and becoming more in touch with spirit guides and I mean, there are so many spirit guides. Like with me, there could be like 30, 40, 50 at one time, or even 1,000 at one time. But there's only like 3 that I'm really connected to, or even you yourself. There's like 1,000 of them, and then you connect to like 3. Like everyone has so many guides around them, helping them at any given point, any time. Like you're never alone. You're always having help. There's always someone there by you, or accessible to you. But anyways, with the whole mediumship, I'm going to be helping loved ones cross over, or helping loved ones talk with their past loved ones that they are worried that aren't doing so well, but they just want to talk to them. They can talk to them through me. Also long distance healing, Reiki, which is accessible to anyone across the world, because when you send these healings to anyone, when you focus on them, they receive it immediately. As long as they believe it and they allow it, they will receive it. And there's also this auric reading. I'm not sure. I don't really have a name for it yet. It's where I read your energies. I write your name down and I draw it with colors, shapes, capital letters, lowercase letters, and it'll give a reading. It'll be a reading about your current situation, or a past situation, or a future even situation that is going to be coming up soon, that I can help you with in some way, give you clarity on about, or your emotional state that you're at right now, or some kind of situation that's going on, or a question that you have. It's something new. I've been doing it for a little while now, and I've
that sounds very amazing and unique.
Yeah. And light languages, light activations with the writing, the scripts, the speaking, or just silent even. I'm starting to do toning now, and I want to help people also become channelers, become mediums, and start to express themselves, especially ones that don't have a easy time speaking. They're the ones that I really want to help. And I want to help everybody. Anybody and anyone is welcome, of course. But like myself, I had a hard time trying to get myself out there, trying to express myself, trying to be, vocal about everything that I wanted to let out. And there are many that are coming my way that have this issue that they can't speak. A lot of them don't even speak English. And I'm able to communicate with them still and be friends with them and be on the same page. And they open up a little bit more to speaking out more, making videos and whatnot, and that's been successful. And even if they do speak English, they're really shy, really shut down, and really just in their own closet. I help bring them out of there and help them spread their wings. Help them realize that the world isn't so scary as it may seem. And even with kids, my kids are getting involved too, speaking languages and whatnot, and talking about aliens. And so there's a whole lot. I'm also doing gaming videos too, let's play videos, just games, because I've also realized that playing games is helping me release fears that are deep within my soul, my DNA, that I have no idea where they come from, but these games are triggering them in me, and I end up experiencing. I release those fears through the games. So that's one thing that I've also started doing mostly right now, because I'm trying to get rid of all the fears so I can be more clear for everyone else, for myself mainly, and for everyone else. So.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I remember you watching your Illuminati game video. That was so funny. I wonder which fear that you released doing that one, but it was very entertaining.
Yeah, I have no idea either. All I know is it got released.
Yeah, because they were unfair. It wasn't a fair game. They weren't playing fair, but then it makes sense because it's the Illuminati video game.
Yeah. And they're
supposed to win.
Yeah. I just released another game today too. The Mind's Eclipse. That one's really trippy. That one I would suggest checking out. I mean, I speak through the whole thing, and it's I have to click and read throughout the whole thing. It's not so much action oriented, but it is really interesting because it kind of reflects a reality that a lot of us fear in a way, where AI is coming and take over, and just things go awry and nobody knows what's going on, and it's just so, or when they're switching consciousness to an AI being, that's part what the game is about. So
that's interesting. You know what? I'm glad that I just at the point where I get to the whole SSP, AI, Earth Defense Force, and all of these other things. It's especially when you're learning about spirituality, it's just okay, there's just so much. There's just a whole other dimension that I don't even want to touch still.
Exactly.
Not even afraid of it. I'm just like, okay, that's great. So there's AI. So I won't. So I'll die, and then I'll go to heaven and be fine. Big deal.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially since I learned, it's the intention you put it before,
Exactly.
before things are finito.
Yep. Before it solidifies it, or before you solidify it, you can choose how you want to solidify it.
Yeah. So before we leave, I just want to ask you if there's anything in particular that you want to convey to our sports fans listening to Off the Deep End.
Thank you so very much for listening to me. First off, I appreciate it, and I'm grateful, and it's an honor to be on the show and talk to all of you, and to have all of you listening to me and taking in what I'm saying. And please discard whatever doesn't resonate with you and take with you what does. Thank you for having an open mind. Thank you for having an open heart to this. Thank you for letting me speak. Thank you for hearing me out, and I appreciate every single one of you. That's all I really can say. I mean, it's amazing that people who are interested in sports, are being interested in this conspiracy and spirituality, aliens, angels, willing to listen to me. That to me is amazing. So all these people are absolutely awesome. They're amazing people.
And you're amazing, Bianca, and we're happy to have you on the show again. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And you guys are amazing too. Thank you so much for having me on.
Before we conclude, could you please tell us how we can get in contact with you?
Well, right now, probably the easiest way is through my email, and I'll spell it. It's yourperceptionisyourreality@gmail.com. Yes, it's a long one, but it's yourperceptionisyourreality@gmail.com. Yourperceptionisyourreality@gmail.com, and hit me up there, and I will get your message, and I will email you back right away as soon as possible. I also have Google Plus. I have my Facebook. I have my YouTube. I don't remember every single one right now. So just right now, my email will probably be the best way to get a hold of me.
Okay, thank you for being on the show once again. Bianca Macias, everybody. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And tune into our show Friday, 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern. We will be having Wendy Wolf. She has a lot of good information to share, and she has a nice website about all things galactic. So tune in.